30 days ago, I stepped off the plane in the Philippines with two suitcases and a backpack, with a lot of hope and more than a few questions. Was I making the biggest mistake of my life, or one of the best decisions I ever made? Over the past month, I learned a lot. Some things surprised me. Some things made me laugh. A few things weren't anything like I'd been led to believe from watching YouTube videos. And if you stay until the end, I'll tell you about my first visa extension, what it cost, and a couple of things I wish someone had explained before I got here. I'm Joey, and welcome to Life, Love, and Later, where I share what it's really like starting a brand new chapter of life here in the Philippines. Before we jump in, I want you to know something about this channel. I'm not pretending to be an expert. I'm simply sharing my own experience as they happen, the good, the bad, and everything in between. If something I learn can help someone else who's thinking about retiring here, taking an extended vacation, or just wondering what life is really like, then this channel has already accomplished something worthwhile. Now let's get back to where it all began. I left Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, excited, nervous, and honestly exhausted before I even boarded the first flight. After doing quite a bit of research, I decided to fly Starlux Airlines through Taiwan. I have to say, I couldn't have been happier with that decision. The cabin was outstanding, seats were comfortable, the food was surprisingly good. The attention to detail really impressed me. They even provide slippers, blankets, eye mask, and other little comforts to make a very long journey much easier. And no, this isn't a sponsored video. I just believe in giving credit where it's deserved. By the time I landed in Taipei, though, I looked exactly how you'd expect after nearly a full day of travel. I was tired, really tired. Landing in Manila turned out to be my first real surprise. After watching countless YouTube videos before moving here, I honestly expected complete chaos. Instead, immigration took less than 30 seconds. There were almost no lines when I arrived at 9:30 that morning. No confusion, no problems. I even bought one of those $7 onward tickets because I heard I might need it. Interestingly, no one in Manila asked to see it. The only place anyone wanted proof of onward travel was before I boarded my flight in the United States. From the airport, I booked a Grab ride to the Savoy Hotel. It only cost about 130 pesos. I stayed there for 3 days while I started figuring out what my next step would be. The service was excellent, everyone was friendly, and it turned out to be a great value compared to several of the nearby hotels. On my second day, I started searching Facebook for a realtor. Looking back now, that may have been one of the best decisions I made since arriving. She showed me a house that immediately caught my attention. There was only one problem. It wouldn't be available for another 30 days. While I waited, she helped me find an Airbnb in Imus, Cavite. That alone took a huge amount of stress off my shoulders. The house itself is in Bacoor. It's a fully furnished 2-bedroom, 2-bath with home air conditioning, a washing machine, a yard, and just about everything I need to move in. My 6 months lease cost me about $330 a month. I wanted rent not to exceed $400. For me, that was incredible. One thing to know if you're planning something similar, many landlords require the first month rent plus 2 months security deposit. So make sure you budget for that. While I waited to move into the house, I started exploring the area around me. I'm currently living in a barangay of Buhay not too big. One of the things I've really come to appreciate in this location, it's close enough to Manila when I need it, but far enough away that life feels a little less hectic. Everything I need is nearby, most within walking distance. Grocery stores, restaurants, pharmacies, shopping malls, and transportation has been easier than I expected. I've ridden tricycles, jeepneys, even multi-cabs, which are basically a smaller version of the jeepneys, for around 13 pesos a ride. It's hard to complain. Honestly, riding them has become part of the experience. Sometimes it's not just about getting somewhere, it's about experiencing everyday life the way people here do. Now let's talk about something that almost every foreign visitor eventually has to deal with: the visa extension. Before arriving, I watched a lot of videos explaining the process, but there was one thing hardly anyone talked about: the actual cost. When I extended my visa, I had two choices. The regular process cost about $36, but it meant returning 3 days later to pick up my passport. The express option was almost $70, but I walked out with my passport the same day. For me, that made sense. The Grab ride alone cost me around $26 round trip. Making another trip would have eaten up much of the money I thought I was saving. And I also discovered it's helpful to keep your passport with you because, as a foreigner, you're asked for identification more than I expected. Looking back over these first 30 days, I can honestly say they've been exciting, challenging, educational, and sometimes even surprising. I'm still learning every day, and that's really what this channel is about, learning together. In my next video, I'll take you inside the house that changed everything for me. You'll see why I chose it, why I signed a 6-month lease instead of something longer, and what it felt like unlocking the front door knowing this was my home. If you enjoyed coming along on this journey, I'd really appreciate you subscribing. Leave a comment below and let me know what you'd like to see or what questions you have. Your comments help shape future videos, and I'd love to build a community where we can all learn from each other's experiences. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.